Hello, we have Ashley today, and this is a live face-to-face interview. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing well. Ashley made me wait 6 months for an interview. Do you have any comments? I had to get that on tape. I waited 6 months. I'm faithful.
Well, there is a saying you can run, but you can't hide.
Okay. All right.
So we're here.
Okay. The subject matter we're going to discuss is why, from Ashley's standpoint, is it harder for men to show their emotions?
Yes.
So give us your take on that.
Okay, just basically off of my personal experience and just working around men. Where I work with the majority of men. And so just through conversations with them and just my personal experience, I believe the number one thing is men does not show emotions, especially to their significant other, especially if they're just meeting them, is due to pride. I believe pride. It has a lot to do with pride. And I say that because they may feel that once they open up, and they don't know their person as well at first, that they may get the backlash of being vulnerable, or in there, I would say maybe they think the other person would take them as a sign of weakness. And just, I guess maybe at the same time not as comfortable to open up and show emotions because they're maybe learning that person. But then at the same time, you could be in a relationship or know someone that you've been knowing for a long period of time and they still have a problem with opening up and showing and expressing their emotions due to the lack of pride, or maybe just don't know how to do it.
Okay. And base, I'm going to discuss in general, and then I'm going to bring it back to me. And so in general, I would say, if that's your belief, then have you ever tried to teach a man how to express his emotions, or even ask him, have you ever asked a man, do you know how to, are you comfortable sharing your emotions?
It's funny that you said that, and I'm glad that you brought that up because I was going to use that as an example. Actually, a past relationship that I was in before, he and I were conversing, and he actually admitted that I helped him to open up. It was hard at first for him to express himself and to communicate the proper way because he was just so used of not talking about things and not expressing his feelings due to he was one that he basically raised himself. So he had a barrier, and he didn't know how to express himself. So by me being who I am, I believe in expressing my feelings. It helps me to deal with problems and situations better. I feel that it's better out than in. And it just helped me to cope with things better if I express myself. And so, yeah, he admitted to me that I helped him to do that because I will go to him and I will express myself of how I feel about something, and I will give it in details. When I explain something, I give details. And so he said that basically forced him to express himself because I wouldn't let down because I always wanted to talk about things and, explain things. So, yeah.
Okay. So other than pride and a man maybe not knowing how, try to put yourself in the mindset of a man. You have a son. So to a certain extent, you're trying to think how his little mind works. Mm-hmm. Why would it not be good for a man? This is your opinion. Why would it not be good for a man to share his emotions with a woman? If at all.
Why would it not be good? I would say it depends on the maturity as well of the woman.
Okay.
If her intentions are pure and genuine, it shouldn't hurt anything. Now, if she has a different motive that she hasn't been honest about, and the man or the male gender express himself to her, she could and may take advantage.
Okay.
And use it for her best interest.
Okay. Time out. Now we're going somewhere. Time out. So you have been in at least one other relationship in life than the one you're in now.
Yes.
So would you not fit in that category of, okay, I was with you and you express your emotions. I'm not with you anymore. Where does that leave? I'm basing this off of what you're saying, meaning don't know your motives.
Okay.
But you're not with him anymore.
Okay.
But I done opened up the world to you on my insides, and now I'm not with you. And it's years later. I'm only saying that, can you see we don't know each other's intentions?
Right.
We can say, many people watching can say, what's the song I just took? Forever. Forever is a long time. Give me your forever love. It didn't work out. And so I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying no one can guarantee forever.
Okay. I would say be true to your feelings. Be true to yourself. First of all, be true to yourself. Be true to your feelings. Everybody is different. Every relationship you encounter is going to be different. But I believe if you, and I'm not saying that you have to begin with letting it all out on the table, but gradually work towards expressing who you are, expressing yourself within conversations that may generate, or just be honest and open with your significant other, especially because it helps.
Okay.
It helps.
Okay. Now I'm gonna bring it home to me. I don't believe I've ever had a problem sharing my emotions with the opposite sex.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say maybe some of them wouldn't feel that way. And so now I'm gonna provide, well, why, if you're telling me, Sean, that you've never been uncomfortable sharing your emotions, why would you say that there's probably some women that are like, no, he's not gonna share his emotions? Mm-hmm. One, because they're not my woman. That's number one.
Okay.
If I'm associating with a female on whatever level, I'm going to share according to where I've determined this relationship is going to be.
Okay.
And I can always push forward. Okay. I can always share more.
Okay.
But I can't share everything and pull back.
Okay.
And so for me, the two times that I've been in love, when those relationships ended,
okay,
there was one thing stated by the women and one idea I had in my head. Okay. The one idea I had in my head was there was nothing I ever did not tell you about how I feel about you.
Okay. Okay.
Now there were lies told. Let me qualify this for all listeners. I didn't say I told them everything. I said as far as my feelings for those two different women, there was never anything I did not tell them how I felt about them.
Okay.
Number two, what they both told me, separate entity. If I don't know anything else, I don't think I'm going to meet another man that loves me like you love me. That does not mean that a man has not loved either or both of them better than me.
But not like you.
Not like me.
Okay.
Because that's one thing that I strive to give because I'm comfortable with that. If why can't I express that? But now, going back to our point, reasons I would not share my emotions with everyone. Pride would not be one of them. Pride would not be one of them.
Okay.
The possible misuse of it, and a misuse would be something like, when you do this for me, I feel like this. Well, then when they want somebody, they're trying to play on me, they're gonna automatically do that. So that would cause pause. But I've lived my life to where when it comes to emotions and women, I don't want to have any regrets. And so I would much rather be used. And when I say be used, meaning she misappropriated my emotions. She was not fair. I'm cool with that. Because when you find people who are, it's worth it.
That's right.
And I don't think there are any perfect people. So I always had the mindset, there was a phrase, better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. I adopted that because when you're dealing with emotions, to have to clutch or hold or hide them, I don't think that's a relationship you want to stay in.
Okay.
And
it's unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I was sharing earlier, I saw a pastor and his wife, and they were talking, and he made a statement. He said, he was generalizing. He says, women, and his wife is right down the stage, but he said, women, you want your man to tell you how he feels. But when I tell you, he's identifying with the men. When I tell you how I feel, you mad.
Mm-hmm.
And so that doesn't equate. Okay, tell me how you feel genuinely.
But
okay,
because
I hear that.
tell you what you wanted to hear, is different.
Yeah, when I tell you how I feel genuinely, not a house is a wreck. We're not talking about unfaithfulness. We're speaking about, okay, you like black. Mm-hmm. And you say, how do you feel? Now, I don't want to deal with the black. How do you feel about me wearing my hair like this? I've been in that situation. Okay. How do I feel? Okay. So you're asking me, how do I feel when you wear your hair like that? Mm-hmm. Yes. And you want an honest answer. Mm-hmm. And the female, yes, I want an honest answer. I don't like it at all.
And then the female takes it personal.
And the next moment after that is, well, if I just, that's the way you like your hair, I accept it. Yeah. And so what do you have to say about when a man does share his emotions and the woman doesn't like it? We're talking about emotions. Okay. We're not talking about decisions. We're not talking about, do you love me or don't love me? No, we're talking about, this is how I feel. I feel like you force me to spend time with you every week. That's how I feel. It's not when I want to do it. It's when you want to do it. Okay. But the X factor for a lot of ladies is, okay, when I don't tell you to spend time with me, you don't do it.
Right.
And then when I tell you to spend time with me, now you tell me I force you. Well, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
What, we're just dialoguing.
I feel like it has to be some compromising. Have to be. To get to a solution that'll work for the both of you.
Okay.
Definitely compromising. And again, communication.
But should the feelings be expressed? We going back to
the feelings should be expressed.
Okay.
The feelings should be expressed because you want to. What is the point of communicating and expressing your feelings if you can't be honest? Where are you getting to? Okay,
but we're going back. That's why, in my experience with friends of mine as well as me, females, you act out. So meaning no matter the maturity level.
Sean, with expressing yourself, who knows what that will lead to?
This is what
we can start out. We can start off. I can start off with thinking that I'm helping you.
Yes.
But by us conversing and translating, with each other, we may end up helping each other at the end. It's about opening up. And going back to what you said about your significant other, about you expressing yourself to your significant other and versus it not being your significant other and you may not express as much.
Yes.
I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, I've experienced both. And I say that because, again, I work with the majority of men. And I'm talking about single men, young men, older men, married men. And believe it or not, a lot of married men will come to me and talk to me because they feel comfortable to open up. And to me, that speaks volume because I'm not being judgmental. I'm being open-minded. I'm not just taking up for them or I'm not just taking up for their belly. I'm listening. But at the same time, I know it's two sides to every story. But these men are coming, and single men too. They'll come and talk to me because maybe they want to get my opinion on something. Or maybe they just want to be heard, and so they open up and they may feel like I can talk to you about some things that I cannot even discuss with my wife because she's going to take it the wrong way. So I'm saying all that to say, if you want your significant other or the opposite sex to communicate with you and honestly, you have to be willing to listen to them with not just the answers that you have accumulated in your mind, but just open up, just listen sometimes and don't always have the answer because we don't always have the answer, us women. We don't always have the answer, but if we just listen sometimes, a lot of men just want to be heard and they want to be respected. So,
Okay. So if you had to share something directly with the men from a woman's perspective, the reason we need you to share your emotions with us is,
I would say it helps to make the situation in a relationship better. It helps to learn the other person. And it helps just overall to for a better outcome, for even us to understand you. A lot of times we are forced and led to assume things or just try to figure it out because a lot of men have a problem with opening up, whether they've been knowing us for a long time or short period of time. It's better overall for us to understand you. So maybe we can adjust and make some adjustments to how we respond and how we act towards things. So I just feel like a mature woman is going to take it and she's going to apply it versus using it against you. So I think it does help just to open up, and maybe y'all both can get some understanding and not have to assume.
okay, okay. So I would say, is there anything you'd like to ask me? We covered the emotion. That's what you wanted. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Yes. Do you feel that it would help more men to open up, to express their feelings?
I believe that it would help relationships if we are not communicating to communicate. But I hedge once again on when I or a man opens up and the woman, whether it be an attitude, whether it be a disposition, whether it be treatment, most men who care don't want to put up with it. And when I say care, don't want to put up with it, meaning, man, I'm just going to leave that alone. And so when you're stopped up, has your stomach ever been stopped up? My stomach has been stopped up. And when your stomach is stopped up, at some point, maybe a bad example, but at some point, you need release. And if you don't get release over a period of time from your stomach being stopped up, then it becomes dangerous.
Yes.
And I'm only saying because of the attitude of a lot of women, I say I want to hear it from you, but when I hear it, I express I don't like it. Men take it to another individual.
Right.
Or just get stopped up. And stopped up leads to sickness. And I'm saying some of the sicknesses for stopped up men are anger, resentment, and those can lead to infidelity. Those can lead to mental breakdowns because I'm stopped up. I'm steady trying to handle it. I'm not letting it out. It's going to come out some way, whether it's healthy or unhealthy.
Right.
And so I do believe that, but I also believe on this part from a lot of men that I have been in church relationships with, a lot of men don't know themselves to express it. So when you ask me how I feel, and once again, I'm going to bring it back to me. Before I met Christ, if you ask me how I feel, I know how to tell you how I feel about being disrespected. I know how to tell you how I feel about sex. I know how to tell you how I feel about how you look. But you ask me, how do I feel? I'm like, I'm not really paying attention to that. I'm moving. This is what I like. This is what I want. This is what I don't like. I don't want that. I won't accept that. And so I've met a lot of men like that, and where that's dangerous for us is you're genuinely asking me because you want to know, but I don't know me. I haven't spent time with me. And I'm saying there's a lot of men that don't know them. And some of the guys that I know, I've told them this. I said, you're trying to compare your feelings and your woman on somebody else's life. whether it's your friend who seems to have everything that you want or never experienced, or it's the TV that offers you something. And whatever we see, relationships from a distance or TV relationships from a distance, generally we're not going to see everything that goes with it. It's like ministry. People read about the ministry of Jesus and it's picturesque. But then when they see like a movie like The Passion of Christ, where people actually they literally spit on him. Literally, Jesus, we see the loincloth on the cross. He was naked. That means genitalia is out.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about places I've been in my life and I've seen other men. I've not had an experience to bring me to a standstill to be able to assess that I am emotionally bankrupt, meaning what is normal? I don't know what normal is. What is acceptable? I don't know what acceptable is. And so I've just found these different ways to move and operate. And so you're asking something of me that I have not even given myself. And now the pride comes in to where I don't know it, but you ask, how you feel today, Sean? I don't know. And then when you keep asking me, and I've said, I don't know 2 or 3 times, you're like, how can you not know how you feel? And now I feel insulted. And now I feel angry. So now I'm about to do that. But my thing to any men watching this, for me, is Jesus. So if you don't know yourself, there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm just stating what I've seen. Unless God introduces the real me to me, I'm just a made up version of decisions that I've made, lies that I believed, or things that I thought looked good to others. But when Jesus showed me, he's showing me the me that he makes, that he created. And so whatever my inconsistencies are, whatever I need work in, he's there helping me. But a woman on the outside before, you can't help me get those things because I don't know I'm missing.
You got to start within yourself. Okay. You got to start within yourself and just with myself. Like Sean said, start with Jesus. Pray. Ask God to help you to open up. Ask God to send you someone that you can be comfortable and that you can trust to open up to, and start from there. It don't have to be your significant other, It don't have to be your brother or your sister, but someone that you can open up to, and you can share your thoughts and your feelings, And like, again, number one, Jesus. Number one, Jesus. I can't express that. If you don't have nobody else to talk to, you can talk to him and he won't interrupt you.
Okay. And for anybody watching who, well, I don't want Jesus, I ain't got Jesus. And I'm just going to say, well, if what you have has worked for you the way it's worked for you, keep doing it. Because until something is changed, it's not changed. So continue.
It's better out than in.
Okay. Anything else?
I think we covered.
Okay. I thank you for your time. Yes. We enjoyed a good church service here in Beaumont, Texas. I don't know the young man's name. He's one of the youth ministers. He went off, and I'm gonna think about that Sunday. So Ashley, thank you again.
You're welcome, and thank you for this opportunity.
Okay. All right.